Hey everybody, we're back. The December episode, Danny on Everything. I am your host, Danny Bedrosian. With me as always is my fearless producer, Mr. Carl Cerny. We are down here at Moose Magnificat, the radio station here in Tallahassee, Florida, Alcom, in lovely Tallahassee. For this December episode, gonna talk about my brand new album with ZAE Lewis Clinton. It's called KLAK. We got the KLAK, and that's KLAK right there. You see him, KLAK? That's Mr. KLAK. And this is an album ZAE and I have been working on for a really long time. If I were to wager a guess, I would say at least 8 years, although it might be 9. So, all my albums are kind of like this, to be honest. Most of my solo albums, they're like 9 years in the making, at least. So, this is no exception. This is a continuation of my sort of duet albums with different people. The first one I did with Danish mixologist Stefan Motherfunkin' Clausen from Denmark in 2015 for the Bosfunk Music Mashups album. The second one I did was with Mr. Sean Gorman, who's been on the show. We did an episode about the album Gift Day that I did with him. The third one was with the Brothers Nalbandian, the album I did, Garmier Caramel. And this is the fourth of my duet albums. This one with my brother, ZAE Lewis Clinton, who's also a longtime member of P-Funk and long time, especially for how young he is, and prolific songwriter, producer, artist, who releases great music of his own as well, and who we've spoken to, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But you can get KLAK now. The CD is out. There's a number of ways you can get it. If you want the CD, you can send $25 domestic or $40 international to my PayPal, which is info@DannyBedrosian.com, or Cash App, which is $Daniel Bedrosian, or Venmo, which is @Daniel Bedrosian. Again, it's $25 domestic, $40 international. If you don't want the CD and you want digital, you can do the same thing, but $20 to the same place, and you can get the digital version. Or you can join my Patreon, www.patreon.com/DannyBedrosian, and you can join at the $20 level, and you get the new KLAK album for free right when you first subscribe. And from that point on, every month you get a free new album of mine and going through my collection. You can contact me and tell me what you already have if you already have some of my stuff, but it's the best way to get my material is by joining my Patreon. You can join on a number of tiers. There are a number of little subscription ranges. The lowest range is like $3 a month, and you get a song every month. You get a new song from the album KLAK every month, and work your way back through all my albums, all my material, my comic books, all kinds of stuff. So it's a great way to check out this music. And of course, the comic book Sons of the Sun, number 3, is still out, but we only got about 20 copies left. So we're really at the last copies of this first printing. Really gorgeous printing. Homage to Jim Lee's X-Men number 1 with the gatefold cover. This is also $25 domestic, $40 international. You can get this new comic book, Sons of the Sun, number 3. Check it out. And we also, for those of you still interested, we have the digital versions of issue number 1 of this comic book. If you want the first issue, only $15. And the second issue, we have a second printing available for $10 if you're interested in getting that. If you want to have I Want 1 and 2, you can still get number 1 digitally, and you can get the second printing of number 2 for a low price. So you can get all 3 for $50. 1, 2, and 3, $50. All really nice, super glossy covers, super nice, high quality content with myself and artists Robert Iman and Steven Grezik. Super proud of those. But we're talking about KLAK today, and we're going to do, like we have done many times, a featured song. Today, I think the one I'm going to pick is One Wish. And this was written by ZAE and myself and Young Poppy, who is another of George's grandchildren, who we're going to have in here for an interview sometime soon. But let's play this song from the new album KLAK, just out. You can get it now on CD or digitally. One Wish. You're checking out Danny on Everything.
I make all of the exes look like chopped liver. Your spirit shakes when we hold hands, that's their romance. Moonlight, slow dance, cut a rug like an old man. Late night giggles and blushes. Hot bath with a tub overflowing with bubbles. If your father knew your ass behind closed doors, you'll be in trouble. But the fact you take the risk for a nigga, I'm straight humble. Girl, you get these gifts for nothing. Every day's a holiday. How you hit with love and bang on that body like I play the percussion.
All right, One Wish from the new album KLAK. Check it out, you guys. I strongly encourage it. Support local artists, support artists of the world, support artists everywhere. So we're talking about KLAK, and it had occurred to me, and I was talking to Carl Cerny, my producer, great friend, that we were, we've got these great archives of the show, of Danny on Everything. Ones that a lot of our new subscribers, or people who have been subscribing since we've had the YouTube channel, have not really had the chance to enjoy. Episodes that contain interviews with George Clinton, with Michael Clip Payne, with Lige Curry, Tanisha Nelson, Patavian Lewis, all kinds of people. And Trezay was one of them and one of my first interviews for the show. So because it's really timely and fitting for what we're talking about the KLAK album, and because this interview was conducted while Trezay and I were actually working very heavily on this album. I believe it was 2018, I want to say. And so it was right in the middle, 17 or 18, and it's right in the middle of the creation of this album. So it was cool. It's cool to probably go back and check out what we were talking about then in the creative process. You know, process stuff has always been really fascinating to me anyway. But this is going to be a piece of that interview with Trezay Lewis Clinton and myself from, I believe, 2018. Remember, if you like what you're checking out, if you like what you hear, like, follow, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell. You'll know when new videos are out, and we really, really appreciate the support. So check it out. Interview with Trezay Lewis Clinton, talking about, among other things, work in P-Funk and independent projects much like KLAK. You are watching, listening to, and hopefully enjoying Danny on Everything. From Live on the Road, I'm Danny Bedrosian, here live from Mars, Pennsylvania, on the road with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. We're doing the thing. We got a couple days off here. We just came from Grand Rapids, Michigan. We've been playing all over the East Coast and the Midwest and traveling here and there, so I haven't been able to do the show from the usual studios in Tallahassee with Moose Magnificat. And special shout out to Carl Cerny, who's down there transferring all of this content to you guys. So thank you, Carl. I'm on the road with my family, with the band I work with and have for 15 years, Parliament Funkadelic, and I'm blessed and honored to have someone who I consider a brother with me, a member of the band, as well as the grandson of our fearless leader, George Clinton, as well as the son of his son, Tracy Lewis, himself a powerhouse in his own right. We have here Trizzy Trey, not your average rapper. They call him Dougie. They call him Trasberry. Trezay Lewis Clinton. Trezay, thank you so much for being here on the show today.
Squash! Hey, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for having me. I can't thank you enough. Yes, it is I, the one on the one, Trezay Lewis Clinton, third generation Parliament Funkadelic. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm so good. I'm so glad that we're doing this, and I have to thank you because we're using Trezay's studio on the tour bus itself to record this very interview. So thank you again, and I want to just get started with some stuff. We want to talk about what got you into music. We want to talk about your career. We want to talk about what you got out for people to hear, because you've got a very multifaceted career that I think could inspire and will entertain countless millions, if not billions, to come. So I want to get started. I want you to tell the people where you got your start, where you came from, and when did music first intrigue you in your childhood. So tell us a little bit about your beginning.
Well, let's see. I thought I seen Michael Jackson on the moon when I was a little boy. I was looking out the window one night, and I think it was just because I woke up out of my sleep and DreamWorks was on the TV.
Nice.
Little boy was fishing.
Nice.
But yeah, anyways, man. I like Tales from the Crypt. That was like one of my favorite theme songs. That's what got me into music. I love music because of Tales from the Crypt.
That's insane.
Yeah, like 3-4 years old. No, really, my first start, that was that. But, banging on pots and pans around like 3 or 4 years old. And, my parents playing, my grandfather's records around the house and all of my family, you guys on the records and I would listen to, I would fall in love with records, since I was little, But I would be scared of my grandfather's record of Trombipulation when I seen that that elephant nose and him sticking his tongue out. Oh my gosh, I was like super scared of that, bro. So that's where I guess where it started for me. You know what I'm saying? So funk and music got into me. I tried to get into it, but it was already getting into me. So yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that. I love the trombipulation reference too. That's amazing. Coming from such a powerful musical dynasty, being one of the grandchildren of George Clinton, tell us about the relationship with your grandfather and how you've sort of envisioned him through your life. Because as a kid, kids see things differently. You're a father, you know how kids see things. So tell us sort of like how that relationship has changed from when you were a child to how it is now.
Well, when I was little, Granddaddy always loved nature, so we're always around nature. Whenever I'd be around him, my first time ever coming to like one of his properties, my first time ever on an airplane, and I was about like 4 years old. We flew from California to Michigan, and he had like arcades in his house and stuff like that. It was like so cool. It was like, dude, my grandfather has like arcades in his house, dude. They're, like so gnarly, and I mean, all the little things about him, you know, are like really pretty things to just like, I don't know. For me, they grow on me all the time. You know what I mean? Like I realize more and more. Like computer games, like he has so many styles of so many forms of expression, to where he like carried around like stuffed animals and things like that. You know what I mean? So for me being little, was like seeing things in one way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's cool. But now like seeing them is like, man, that's even cooler. You know what I mean? So, and I always didn't know him the way I know him. We get to know each other like more and more all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's really beautiful every day. Like, he loves fishing. I didn't know that about him. He loves fishing. He loves hunting. He's like really good at it too. And I don't know. He's really like, he's beyond smart, dude. You can learn a lot from him. So like, I always look forward to like taking the time out to like learn something from him, because he can always teach you something. So that's what I love. And he loves teaching you. You know what I'm saying? So I always appreciate that. So that's how, I mean, it's been beautiful for me to grow in that aspect, So thank you.
What a nice way to have that relationship too with somebody who's already such a teacher and sort of a master, for lack of a better word, of funk and of music in particular, and popular music and 20th and 21st century music, to also have that relationship with him as your grandfather. That's really special. And since we're talking about family, you also have a pretty special grandmother. Your father's mother was also pretty big in music. Tell us a little bit about what you know about her.
My father's mother, she was an incredible writer. She played guitar, sang. Her mother played guitar and sang as well. And my grandfather would tell me about my grandmother, like she's like such a like super good writer, and she would like come up with all these like really good songs with her. And as I traveled the world, I started traveling on the road with my grandfather 2010, and I was 17 years old, and my first time out of the country was not too long after that, when I turned 18. And when I went to Europe for my first time, was so many people approaching me, and still to this day telling me about my grandmother having one of the biggest records over there in history.
Northern Soul, a big Northern Soul superstar. And we just so happen, because we're on the bus and we're a big family, I'm just sending shout outs there also to our merch guy, Glenn Grau, who's also sitting here, who is something of authority on the subject of what we're talking about. And Glenn has just informed me that she has 2 of the top 10 Northern Soul songs of all time. I believe they are "You Won't Say Nothing" and you can't "If You Can Stand Me." Is that correct? And a really amazing statistic. And of course, Glenn is the one who hipped me to her records too, I have to say. I'd never heard him before I met Glenn. And then we also have young Popular here, Poppy, another one of the grandchildren of George Clinton, who also has some great music coming out. And we're going to be doing interviews with him as well in the future. But I just wanted to throw that out there. And that a band I played with even did a cover of one of her songs, "You Won't Say Nothing." So really, I have to say that ZAE, it's really amazing to see the way that it influenced your father first, how he has both of those in him, and then how you also have both of those in you, as well as your mother, who I also know, who's a saint. So it's so nice to see genetically the continuation of some great, important musical traits and human traits. That's really cool. What does P-Funk mean to you? When did you come into the P-Funk as a member? What year did you start? And what does that all mean to you? What does the Parliament Funkadelic thing mean to you?
Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah, man. P-Funk is like, it's for everlasting love, you dig? It's like, it's organized chaos, you know? Funky has always been, funk is its own reward, as you know what I'm saying? And P-Funk is everything to me, man. P-Funk is life, it's more than life, man. P-Funk is a, you know what I'm saying? It's a culture for sure, you know what I'm saying? And it's more than, yeah. P-Funk ain't shit. No, just fine. But I love you guys, you know what I'm saying? P-Funk is my family, you feel me? P-Funk is a pretty energy that illuminates the universe. I mean, it's really, really beautiful to be a part of. I love watching P-Funk change lives, you know. I love P-Funk changing my life for the better. It will take you on a roller coaster, for sure. And it's there's nothing like P-Funk, you know? So P-Funk is more than expression.
That's beautiful. I think sometimes people have so much trouble contextualizing it that they can't see it for its sort of the inner beauty. And you put it very nicely. I appreciate that. When you first joined the band, how old were you? What year was it?
2010. I was 17.
Okay, very, very young man. A very young, a child, one might say. And I remember, speaking personally, taking myself out of the interviewer's shoes for a second, I remember you when you came in, and you were, in the best way possible to say, like a sponge. In the best way to say, the most positive version of what a sponge can do. You were just soaking in information, taking it in, learning things, and honing your craft slowly and carefully, and it's definitely paid off. And we'll get to that in a minute. But when you first joined as a 17-year-old, what really caught your eye about what caught your eye about the music? Was there a song? And now, is there a song in the show that sort of is like, that's the thing right there? Like, what was it when you first came in, and is it the same song now? Is it a different song now? For you personally, just your opinion.
Maggie Brain, if you're on the stage, oh man, that's one world. But if you're backstage when Maggie Brain is being played, man, that's a place to be. That'll take you to either a really, really like gray place or a really like just beautiful place. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty place to be, but being in the crowd hearing Maggie Brain, that's a whole world of its own as well. That's many worlds in one, you know. But Maggie Brain is a very, very special piece that'll take you, wherever I guess you will let it, you know? Yeah. Because if Maggie Brain overtakes you, Maggie Brain is very, very magical, you know? So Maggie Brain.
It's a good answer. I personally, as someone who gets to play it, I'm in love with that song, especially with my classical roots. I remember the first time my father saw it live when I'd first come into the band, when I was like younger than you now, and my father first came to one of the P-Funk shows. His favorite thing that he saw was Michael Hampton doing Maggie Brain. It was the favorite thing he saw that night, and he was like, "Oh, I like that." And I think one thing he said was, "How does he do that every night?" Or something like that, because of the amount of sort of emotional energy that it takes out of the performance. It is a lot of emotion. And we were just talking today with your grandfather, with Mr. George Clinton, and Elijah Curry and myself, about how high-powered it had gotten over the past few nights to this like new sort of climax where it's really sort of taken on a new dimension in the vamp as it's gotten big, and how much space there is to work with, and how much there is to work with within those sort of whole notes. It's really cool. How and this is a kind of open-ended question, but you can define it how you want. How did this music influence your own music, and what were some of the first sort of things you were doing musically as ZAE solo artist? Because I feel like some of it happened maybe right before you came out here, but a lot of it blossomed as you were out here touring and learning the craft, learning different crafts, because you came and you were doing crew, you did hospitality, you learned different things from different people. You were playing drums, you were checking drums, you were checking keys, you were learning that, you were singing, rapping, writing. So what in the P-Funk sort of, I mean, I know that it's sort of genetic, so it's kind of hard to answer it in a very concrete way, but sort of what specific things do you remember that sort of influenced the way you write or started to write?
Well, all of you, watching all of you in your own ways. You especially, like in specific, you have your own way of expressing your notes that you choose to play and the timings that you choose to play them in. So that right there alone shows so much character to me, So I mean, I would sit there and watch you, and I would go back and I would express myself into relation, like a call and response, like what language was he speaking, and can I speak that language as well? Yeah. You know what I mean? And all of you guys have like so many different languages, so I'd like sit there and like try to study all of these different languages and put them into like my own story and paragraphs and sentences and my own language to speak, and learn your language so that I can speak it back to you as well. Right. So I started doing that and started sampling as well. Like I would take samples and do them so many different ways. Either I would take the sample and just chop it up and put drums behind it, or play along with it with different melodies and patches or synths or different things like that, or just put vocals on it and just make it a sing along or sing on it and make a whole new version of it. Have a version excursion, Yeah. But I mean, there's so many different formats and formulas to music that I'm just still soaking it up and forever learning, because you guys are forever like showing me something I've never seen and speaking something I've never heard. So it started when I started,
And we're forever learning, and so it's cool. So it's cyclical and it never ends. It's beautiful. It's a really nice, really nice way of putting it. We want to play some ZAE. So why don't you tell us what song we're gonna hear and what it means to you?
Well, for the first song, I'd like to play The One, and it's a very special piece to me because very early on in my life, about the age of 9, my mother came up with the name ZAE for me, and she came up with a hook for me saying, "I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb." And I just incorporated that into my expression within this hook and this chorus of the song, along with my father's expressions, my grandfather's style, just a family of blessings, So that's where I would like to start.
Okay. ZAE Clinton, The One. You are listening to Danny on Everything.
And when I'm fast asleep, that's what I dream about. And when I wake up to a nightmare, I scream and shout. Ooh, you got a personal problem, need to leave me out. Because right here, being on no one is a thing you don't know about. I know you got a lot on your plate. You put the icing on the cream, you put the cup on the cake. If only it was you, I never thought I'd call you my baby. I get you off, but I can't get you off my mind. But the little old lady that keeps on nagging all the time. Ready or not, here I come. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. I know the funk is on the one. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. Ready or not, here I come. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. I know the funk is on the one. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. Yeah, beat don't fail me now. I'm on the one. I know the beat won't fail me now. Yeah, Beat don't fail me now. I'm on the one. I know the beat won't fail me now. Yeah. Oh, thinking it's time to say. Oh, 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 I know. Oh, thinking it's time to say. You used to be the one that I could talk to. Whenever I needed, I would call you. You hang me up every time I'd call. But everything you say seems to be off the wall. I know you got a lot on your plate. You put the icing on the cream, you put the cup on the cake. If only it was you, I never thought I'd call you my baby. I get you off, but I can't get you off my mind. But the little old lady that keeps on nagging all the time. Ready or not, here I come. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. I know the funk is on the one. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. Ready or not, here I come. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. I know the funk is on the one. I may be young, but I'm sure not dumb. Yeah, beat don't fail me now. I'm on the one. I know the beat won't fail me now. Yeah, beat don't fail me now. I'm on the one. I know the beat won't fail me now. Yeah. Thinking it's time to say. Oh, 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 I know. Thinking it's time to say.
All right. That was ZAE Clinton, The One. ZAE, that is an awesome song.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you letting us hear it, and I know that it's something of a debut of sorts, so that makes me very happy. You've traveled a lot in your time with Parliament Funkadelic. You've done a lot of different things in a lot of different places. Where's your favorite place to go in the world? And you can talk to me a little bit about how these places have influenced your sound, because I know that they do, because I know that I've been a part of a couple songs that you've made either in other countries or about being in these other countries. So I can see how it influences you. So tell them some of your favorite places to go and how they've made your sound, made a part of your sound.
Well, my favorite place to go is, out of all the places, is the studio.
Nice.
I love to go to the studio because I go to the studio everywhere in the world, and I can go to the studio and tell you about anything and any place in the world. So when I'm in the studio, no matter where I'm at in the world, I'm always influenced by my surroundings. And that's been beautiful. Like, being in Brazil was a dream place to go to, and getting to go there. We went to Sao Paulo, and it was beautiful. It was everything I imagined it to be. Very, very beautiful. And it influenced my music so much. Just the different instruments I chose and felt to use while being there just did a lot to me, did everything to me. And as I travel different places around the world, they always influence me. They always, put pretty energy upon me. Like, man, it's crazy. Just so many different colors, and everywhere I go, that's my favorite place to be, is in that place.
I like that, and I like how you're able to connect and sort of intertwine your own sound with the sounds that you're feeling from these places. It's probably a combination of what you hear, what you think of when you think of the place, and just the sounds of the place. Because I know how you are. You're visceral like that. I kind of am too. The sounds of the people, the sounds of the... And when you say Brazil, it's interesting because Argentina did the same thing for me. And Glenn, who's still sitting with us, Glenn Grau, Chile was that place for him in South America. So we all have that place It's interesting. It's very interesting that they're all in South America too. That's kind of funny. I I really, really have to tell you, Trezay, and I know you know this, much like what you said to me, I'm very much a fan of your sound as well. And I think that you have created your own sort of quasi-genre within the hip-hop thing. But, you know, I always told you, too, even when you were younger, oh, keep singing, too, because you got a good singing voice. And you come from this dynasty with this specific type of character that you got built in. And it's really cool to see all of that come out. What do you have out right now that fans can pick up or buy or listen to, and where can they get it?
You can get Trezay Clinton Electrosonic on Bandcamp right now, just available. It's a 5-song EP, my first release of electronic music. I have a part 2 coming, so you can enjoy part 1 for now and just be ready. I know you'll be hungry for part 2, and I'll feed you shortly. I have a bunch of music on Reverb Nation, a bunch of music on SoundCloud, Trezay Clinton at SoundCloud, as well as YouTube. And yeah.
Thank you. Now, tell us also a little bit about Garangatang, and what the collaboration is, and who you're working with, and what you guys have done so far, too.
Well, Garangatang consists of my brother William Thorin and myself, Trezay Clinton. And I met William Thorin 2011 in Germany on Thanksgiving. I was the drum tech for my grandfather, and he had got hired to be the photographer for my grandfather. And I was in the dressing room, and I was changing a snare head, and he walked in the room, and he had this like giant camera, and he closed the door, and he turned around, and we looked at each other, and we just started laughing. And it was just like that from there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's bruh, you dig? So me and bruh just like clicked, you dig? And from there, like one day he just, you know, he pulled out a didgeridoo, and nobody, like, you know what I'm saying, recognized what he had, you know, just pulled out. I was like, yo, what is that, you dig? So he started to blow into the didgeridoo, making like these super funky sounds and these crazy super funky times. And it was like, what is that, bruh? So, you know what I'm saying, I just started rapping over it, and everybody just gathered around like, yo, what is this? It's so dope. And then we just looked at each other like, yeah, bruh. And then everybody just started laughing and clapping and was like, yeah, bruh. So then I got with bro, and he had a band, you know what I'm saying, and it was called Garangatang. And bro was like, nah, bro, you gotta be like, you know what I'm saying, in Garangatang, it's like G-Tang, bro. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm with that, you know what I'm saying? And so me and bro got together, and he was like, it was just me and bro. We got other, you know what I'm saying, members, and but right now it's just me and bro. We like the main members, and we still got all of our original, you know what I'm saying, Garangatang brothers, and we're always open to new people to play with us. You know, Danny Bedrosian, you know what I'm saying, Benny Cowan, and Lies Curry, they always play with us, you know, as well as the rest of the band, P-Funk, Parliament, Funkadelic, and all the members. Yeah, but we got together and we made a song called Yam, and me and bro would just be at he crafts didgeridoos, and he makes this crazy mouthpiece that he invented for the didgeridoo that he calls multi-drone, and allows him plays in octaves, like, you know, like a tuba almost, you know, and yeah, and he plays in these crazy patterns and timings, and then, you know, and he also plays mandolin, and he writes and sings and raps too. Man, he's gnarly, you know what I'm saying? He's super gnarly photographer and things. And so we were just at the warehouse, and he was crafting digits, you know what I'm saying, making a yam in the microwave, and you know what I'm saying, it got like super hot, you know what I'm saying, and I'm sitting there making a beat, and like things are happening, he's burning his mouth, and then I'm like, hey bro, let's turn this to a song. It's lit, you know what I'm saying? We made it into a song, and we got Granddaddy on it, you know what I'm saying? So it's Garangatang Yam featuring George Clinton, you dig? So we got a lot of fun projects like Country Swag. We talk about, you know, wearing cowboy hats and Jordan sneakers, and it's just like it's a bunch of fun, man. And it's a bunch of like new beautiful stuff coming out too. So we're working on an EP right now that we're actually about to finish up, and it's just about done. So be ready for, you know what I'm saying, new Garangatang.
And definitely highly recommend you check out the Garangatang stuff that's out already. I also have it, and it's really, really good. Trezay, I know you're crazy busy, traveling, being a father, being a family man, working, writing, recording, releasing music. what is it like working in the arts and being a father? How is that for you? How do you feel about that connection? How does it make you as an artist? As a father and an artist myself, I want to ask you your opinion on how that molds you.
It actually makes me feel like I could be a kid with my kids. I could be, I can have fun with them, and they can grow up to be grown with me at the same time. Cause it's like Tim Burton. I love you, Tim Burton. You inspire me like crazy. But like all these musical pieces in like The Nightmare Before Christmas, like we laugh, and like I love those songs when I was little in that movie, and now they love those songs, and we love those songs together, and we sing those songs together, and that's beautiful because that's the art in the world that I'm in. And they believe in me and this passion, and it allows me to do what I love and financially secure my family. So it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do. I have a lot of beautiful people around me that do music as well, and it's a pressure to depend on music to take care of your family, especially in today's, you know, ways of distributing music and how music is sold and how it, you know, allows you an income. So it's a challenge, but it is possible in so many different ways, and it's just about studying and just taking initiative and keep on pushing and not limiting yourself to it, because music can work in so many different ways. It definitely is a challenge, though, to be this, but it's beautiful to share with your family. So for me, it's something that I long for, and as well as my children do, and I love it, and they believe in me. So we're gonna continue to keep the funk alive and make it happen and make a lot of money while doing that. So, yeah.
Well, that's a perfect answer for that question, Jose. So that's exactly the right mindset. That's beautiful. Now, in addition, like I just said, you are super busy. So I know you're doing a lot of stuff. What are some of the other recent collaborations that you've been doing with other people? What are you working on with others? We know about Orangutan and your solo stuff. What else are you doing?
Well, I'm doing a lot of projects that people are definitely going to be excited to hear about. Just me saying I'm doing something with my grandfather. All these new projects I haven't released with my grandfather. Definitely be on the lookout for them, because it's the funkiest funk ever. We most believe and keep that. And it's definitely, we're going to release that very, very soon. Flying Lotus as well. I have some tracks that I've done on Flying Lotus's musical arts, and I just can't wait to just express that to the world. I have a version of that Funkin' Kinda Hard on You that I didn't release yet. I'm going to release for everyone very, very soon. I just might press the button now. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar and George Clinton, you dig, Louis Vega mix. So got a lot of beautiful things. I got a lot of beautiful things that I'm working on. My brother Danny Bedrosian. Yeah, man, we got this character, man, this special person, this special weapon, man. We love to introduce to y'all. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name yet, but oh man, KLAK. Yo, KLAK is where, yeah, KLAK, homie. Hey, you gotta know about KLAK, man. We got some beautiful things we're gonna release. So, ZAE Clinton, Danny Bedrosian, it's gonna be very, very, oh man, it's gonna be very funky.
That's what's up. Yeah, it is gonna be very funky. We've been working on some stuff, and that's super special. We're gonna play another song. ZAE, what's the other song gonna be? What are we gonna play?
I think we're gonna go hit you with the Trasberry. I'd like to introduce Trasberry to the world. Trasberry is something that's very, very tasty. It's a taste that you just long for, you crave. Yeah, yazer.
The taste of Trasberry. We're sitting with ZAE. This is Danny on everything. Trasberry.
Trasberry. Trasberry. Let me put my style in your strawberry. blueberry, girl, I love all berries. You think you got it all with that blackberry, raspberry, girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry. Shawty got Saskatoon, baby got a berry like June. I've been inside the berry like Jerry, walking down the aisle like I'm Marion berries. Take bread, she got that young bread. Lunge my tongue in your Indian plum berry. Baneberry, that fameberry, huckleberry, put my hand in your craneberry. Smoke flame on them cloud, berries, wood grain, stain, made a foul. Berries, catch you fishing for that salmon. Berry girl, you got me on eye like a Logan berry, yeah. All I see is buckthorn and that black currant. Girl, I got that wild rose and this red currant. They go berries, putting sugar on them blackberries. Better chillin' berries, them Jerusalem berries. Let me put my straw in your strawberry. Blueberry, girl, I love all berries. You think you got it all with that blackberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry. Let me put my straw in your strawberry. Blueberry, girl, I love all berries. You think you got it all with the blackberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry. Okay, what it do, berry? If you want it, girl, I could give you berry. Gooseberry, catch me at the barberry. Shout it, wanna ride, I got a pocket full of nuts, berry. Halle Berry like I'm up before January. She be watching the kid, that's a nanny berry. Elderberry, I tell her I can smell her berries. She on that grape like wine, I'ma sell her berries. Red dot on your face, mulberry. Get out of line, I call my boysenberry. Boysenberries, like thornless berries. They'll put your head to sleep like poison berries. Bottle-shaped booty coat, cherry. Open your fly, give me that crow, berry. Let me pop that Barbados cherry. Pretty please, with a choke cherry. Let me put my straw in your strawberry. Blueberry, girl, I love all berries. You think you got it all with that blackberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry. Let me put my straw in your strawberry. Blueberry, girl, I love all berries. You think you got it all with the blackberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry, raspberry. Girl, you know you want some of this raspberry, raspberry.
Oh. Wow. Trasberry. It's a beast. You know, it's funny because as someone who knows your music, Trezay, I have like, it's my favorite. Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. And I can just keep going because there are so many that people could call favorites. I can't wait for the whole world to hear this music because it's so good. And I just want to thank you, my brother, for coming on my show. It means the world to me, and for letting us air this through your amazing studio as well, right here on the P-Funk bus while we're on the road. Means the world to me, and I just have to say I cannot say enough how proud of you I am, how much I love you and respect and love your work, and how I'm pushing for you and the continuation of you and the ever evolving and the getting better and better, and you are an amazing young artist. So hit everybody with your social media real quick and tell them where they can talk to you.
You can put Trezay Clinton in any search engine, Trezay Lewis Clinton in any search engine, iTunes, Spotify, Gorangatang, pretty much everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere. Thank you to my beautiful wife. She's more than beautiful. Thank you for everything. I cannot thank you enough for everything that you do. Thank you to my children. I love you guys more than I can ever say. Thank you to all my friends and family. Thank you, Most High. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, me. I love you guys.
Jose Lewis Clinton, and you heard this exclusive interview right here on Danny on Everything, our third ever episode. Check us out next time. We're coming back to you in March at the latest. This being our February episode, our third episode. I think it was great. Thank you again to Jose Lewis Clinton for coming on the show. Check out Treze's music, his solo music, Treze Clinton. Check out his stuff with Garangatang, with his grandfather, George Clinton, and Parliament Funkadelic. All new, all upcoming, all fresh. And we're going to come back to you next time with an all new, all fresh Danny on Everything. My name is Danny Bedrosian. It's been fun. It's always fun. I love this. We're going to do it again. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. All right, we're back, you guys. Danny on Everything. Thanks again for checking out my December episode. I still got a little bit of information for you guys before we get out of here. Wanted to hit you up with tour dates coming up for the end of the year. Things I'm involved in all over the country. Firstly, we have my work with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Some dates coming up in December and January. December 29th, New York City. I think it's Sony Hall. You can look up listings, but I'm pretty sure. December 30th, Boston, Massachusetts, House of Blues. And December 31st, New Year's Eve, Washington, D.C. I believe it's the 930 Club. Classic venues there. January 14th will be in Vegas. January 20th in Detroit. And January 21st in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Check Google wherever you look for tour days to see the exact venues, but I know that's where we'll be. Chop House on the Bricks, beautiful restaurant in Thomasville, Georgia, where I do classical evenings for really lovely dinners put on by Chef Matt Hagel, who's been a guest on our show, who's a genius chef, makes amazing food, and I'm happy to play classical music there quite often. Couple weekends a month, and we have some upcoming dates there. December 17th, January 27th and 28th, February 3rd and 4th, and for Valentine's Day, February 14th. So I hope you can come out. If you're a classical music lover, come on out. And if you love good food, come on out. Also coming up, we have at the Over Under, I'm doing a piano show a little different than the ones I do at the Chop House. Over Under is a spot in Tallahassee, Florida. I do sort of a jazz, R&B, and funk set. It'll be February 25th from 8 to 11 p.m. And Something Fierce, my trio in Tallahassee with Bakari Hines and Jose Serrano. We have a show on February 18th at the Tallahassee House of Music in Tallahassee, Florida. And that is what we have coming up for tour dates. So I highly encourage you to catch us in your part of town. It's bound to be bopping. Check out the P. Check out anything that I'm doing. And we got KLAK, you guys. KLAK, again, 25 domestic, 40 international to my PayPal at info@DannyBedrosian.com. Cash App at $ Daniel Bedrosian. Venmo at Daniel Bedrosian. Pick it up. Brand new funk. Pick it up. Features George Clinton. Features 13 members of P-Funk. Features all of 3GP and Treze and myself and all kinds of wonderful people. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The archived interview with Treze is just the beginning. We're going to be archiving old episodes that aren't currently on the YouTube channel in the near future, so you guys can check out those things. Interview with George Clinton. Interview with Clip Payne, Lige Curry, and others coming up in the future for the new year. Danny on Everything. So glad to be bringing this content to you guys, and so glad that you're tuning in. Means the world to me. I hope you guys have a happy holiday season wherever you are in the world. I hope that you're happy and your life is at peace and that your family is happy and healthy. And thank you again for all your support. On behalf of Carl Cerny and myself, my name is Danny Bedrosian, and you have been watching, listening to, feeling, adapting yourself to, physically, mentally, Danny on everything.
Sky.